still inside the mall. There you see it driving from one side to the other as people try to get out of the way. At least on the video, it doesn't appear as though anyone has been hit, but this is just a small slice of what has happened here, taken by someone who saw that Jeep as it was driving through that part of the mall. As we said, the windows have been broken underneath the Sears sign, and it would appear as though that is where it went in. The FBI has been contacted by the ABC7 I-Team. We've been asking whether or not federal authorities are involved in this investigation. We do know that the Woodfield Mall Police, as well as the Schaumburg PD and area suburban police departments, have been told that they need to respond to a potential mass casualty incident. That is exactly what happens in a case like this when they try to get as many law enforcement personnel, fire, emergency rescue crews on the scene of an incident where there could be a number of injuries, multiple injuries, even though we've not been told that that is the case here. So just to reset for you, within the last approximately half hour or so, reports started coming into eyewitness news with a vehicle driving through the interior of Woodfield Mall in Schaumburg. It went in through the Sears store that is on the side of the mall that you're looking at right now. The parking lot, not overly crowded, but certainly there is a fair number of shoppers there, and those people were inside the mall when this Jeep apparently started moving through about 30 minutes ago. Other businesses inside Woodfield Mall.
Hi, folks. It's another sad day.
Well as the police and other security authorities.
We're going to be talking about that. Listen.
What happened here, perhaps more importantly, what the motivation was, whether this was somebody who was in a state that they didn't know what they were doing, or whether this was some intentional act. That we haven't heard from the authorities yet, and we certainly would like to know what their view of this is before we speculate or offer any idea as to what it might be. Right now, the police and fire officials, EMS crews are in a triage situation, attempting to locate anybody who may have been hit by that vehicle, attempting to figure out what kind of help they need and how to get them to safety. We don't have a live camera inside the mall at this hour, so we're not sure exactly where the vehicle is, whether it's been stopped, whether the person behind the wheel is in custody. Rob Elgis and Judy Sue are monitoring this with me now as well, joining us live from the ABC7 State Street studio.
Yeah, Chuck, thank you very much. We have been following this as well as you and our entire news team upstairs, watching the video as it is coming in. Again, it is in the afternoon.
I love my coffee.
3:08 is the time. We have been hearing about this story for the last several minutes, 20 minutes or so. Right now you're looking at a live chopper video shot. This is
okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull back a little bit on
of the mall. It is an enormous
some
mall.
of the audio
here
because I want you to listen to me. I'm going to update you on the situation. I'm your happy healer for President, Keith Landy. It is great to have you here. We have to discuss some of these real-time things that are happening in our lives. You just can't even get around it, can you? I mean, this stuff just is taking over our lives, and it's the hell we never asked for, that's for sure. It's exactly the kind of hell I talk about all the time, that I just don't understand why it is. I mean,
there was some profanity in it, so we lowered that right there. We lowered the volume because of the profanity, but clearly you see this vehicle accelerating through.
It's insanity, I tell you. It's insanity, and we can't be having that kind of insanity, especially knowing that we have our children and our futures to consider. And I'm just going to get some of those ugly images off, and I just want to talk about and update some of what is actually happening in this story right now. And, well, actually, I can give... There we go. It's all about systems, folks. I'm doing the best with what I have, okay? That's what I'm doing, the best with what I have. And it's good enough. It's fine. It works. All right, so behind me, what you have are the images of what's actually going on. So we could just go ahead and keep those going. And what I want to do is just talk a little bit about what is happening here. So we know that this is breaking, and this is in Chicago, and that this is a mass casualty response that was called by authorities, and that an SUV in the Chicago area on Friday afternoon could be seen erratically through the mall, bound as onlookers tracked it on camera, and that law enforcement officials have called for a mass casualty response. They are, and then you have people like Beta who's out there talking about confiscating all of our firearms, when actually this is a spiritual problem. We have a lack of American spirit. We have one person who's in custody for having done this reprehensible attack, says ABC in Chicago. That's what they reported. And so this is a mass casualty situation. And a video posted the SUV driving through the mall as shoppers ran for safety. And now you have Twitter. People are actually talking about this. And just about a half an hour ago, about 13,000 people were talking about it. And then about 10 minutes ago, I checked and it was 50,000. So people do see what's happening, folks. The car drove into Woodfield, says, right past my mom. Doyle tweeted, "Sue's scary. The car drove into Woodfield right past my mother," is what she said. And that we have to listen to what they're coming out. And this was on Twitter. And so, folks, this is playing out right now. And it's important that as your presidential candidate that I speak and show leadership on these issues. I know that we have a sick American, a very sick American spirit. And it's nice to know that we can count on our law enforcement officials, just like Mayor Demings was great, and that they caught somebody and have this person in custody. But the larger concern is that we're having these kinds of things happen at all. We have a very sick American public in their spiritual health. I talk about it all the time, and it's not going away. So that we have this driver in police custody. We have a witness by the name of Jason who is ordering ice cream when he's seen the car only a few feet away, and it was driving erratically. And this was reported by news, and he told his wife to go to a nearby Starbucks, and he ran to the SUV, which had crashed into a pole. He opened the door and took the keys out of the ignition. The Chicago Tribune reported Schaumburg police and fire officials were at the scene, as were FBI officials, as were officials from the Cook County Sheriff's Office, who were assisting local officials. The FBI is aware of the incident and would assist at the request of local law enforcement, according to a statement of the FBI. There is no known threats to public safety at this time. Thank God. So, what is causing this and what can we do about it? We know that right now people have been pushed to every insanity. I'm reminded of it when I was just watching a moment ago Senator Warren talking about her various plans. Whatever she does, I assure you folks, is not going to address the human problem, the place where we are sick, that I contend we need a happy healer for president, and that without such measures addressing our sick spirit on the inside of the human being, that we will continue having these kinds of incidents happening. And that, my fellow Americans, is a scary notion for me to consider is true. So this guy apparently was running off and he had to get captured by the police, and that this thing has a whole side story to it. We're going to be careful to say what caused it. There's no evidence of an active shooter situation. Avoid the area if you're in that area, folks. Your happy healer will tell you. It's in Schaumburg, and police reported that one vehicle has driven into the entrances at Woodfield Mall. The subject is in custody currently at this time. So there is no active shooter situation that we are aware of. Please avoid the area if possible. And Eric Cox tweeted, a man drove through the mall in Schaumburg on Friday afternoon. He drove through Sears and damaged several other stores, including Forever 21 and Hollister. Unfortunately, folks, this is so sad, and we have this guy who's in custody, so just relax about that. Realize that we're going to have to start doing things with love in this country, so this way we can address our sick spirit. I'm going to be coming back on shortly. There are a couple other shows that we will be having today in our campaign, our push for the presidency. And one of the measures that we've been pushing forward recently has been our connection with other people, specifically in this city of Orlando, because it's so important that we are pushing out, that we are making these inroads, because we are working a real campaign for the people. And as you can see, our situation is quite dire. It requires to have our act together, and that is exactly the kind of campaign your Happy Healer for President is running. So I would ask you to get involved in that campaign so that we can all have a future in a life that we can count on. It's important, I contend. And Mayor Demings, I hope you're paying attention to the conversation now, sir. We have quite a number of people that are up here that are paying attention to the conversation, because they understand and they see firsthand a lot of this stuff. They themselves are worried about the solutions that will atone the hell that we know is coming our way. And so, sir, I hope we can get together soon, and I have another show where we're going to be discussing and addressing just a few other things, because remember, you are an important part of my campaign, sir. I live in this city. I love Orlando. I love Orange County, and I want to see our city do great, and I want to set a great example and do whatever I can to assist you in your leadership and in that endeavor, sir. I'm excited about that, and I hope you are too. I want to be involved however I can in helping you, sir. That's a great thing. I'm not trying to take any of your thunder. I want to assist and make our county the best that this can possibly be, the brightest, and make our people so happy and united. I want to show it can be done here and what other folks have to do elsewhere. We have plans and policies in place that will actually pump up the American people, and it starts on a local level. We get that. You better believe we do get that. And so we have so much work to do, Mayor, and so I'll be coming back on. I want to discuss that. That's going to be kind of wrapping up. And the way I do this is we make our reaching out to various different personalities. We know that these are important people in our campaign, important to the American people, important to this campaign. That's enough for me, and that's enough for what we're trying to accomplish. And in that measure, we know that speaking openly and having just a dialogue that is open can be appreciated and can be respected by all. It keeps things very clear. It keeps the message going on. I have always been living my life in that way. I think it's the most safest and sane way to do things, when you apply yourself as the Happy Healer candidate running for president, knowing that we have to get to a more pure place where we can trust, where we can atone the hell that we've all been seeing that greed has been dishing out to us over and over again, that has been the cause of the sick human spirit, that we see so much death and then turn to our freedoms and tear them apart. Aren't you concerned like I am about the many freedoms over time that we have just lost and we continue to lose, and nobody seems to be doing anything about it? That is done in my campaign, because we address the real issue for the very awful state of condition that the human being is in right now, and we know that love can fix that. Love can. Love can. Oh yes, love can. Yes, remember, love together with truth is the essence of God. Let's not forget that. So tonight, what else do we have going on? I hope you're doing great. It's Friday, the end of the week. I'm excited every day. My time moves so fast. I'm in a very fast world because I'm so excited doing the things I love. I'm giving back to humanity. I am your happy healer. I have always been that because I enjoy that. I enjoy filling the soul with love and with that truth. And that's exactly what I intend to continue to do. I have people in my life that I pick up and help, like I've got Al with me now. I've had before that other folks. And we care. We show we care by our actions. Our actions mean so much. And as president, when we have somebody that shows that we have value and purpose, it goes beyond just the dollar, which actually is a fake value. The only reason it has any value is because humanity is here. Obviously, it's the humanity that has the value. We will create a new value within humanity. We will raise the spectra within the human spirit and the American spirit. We will raise all of our spirits to new heights, and we will bring out a new super consumer that will fuel the 21st century growth, to bring about and usher in a new technological future that will serve mankind to come, and yet America now in ways that will help us divert crises on at least 10 fronts. Folks, I shall see you this evening soon. God bless you, and may God bless our great country too. Good night. We'll see you soon.